morning and welcome to the Cincinnati, USA Regional Chambers Member Benefits Information Session. Today's session is aimed to help you and your business navigate the COVID-19 crisis and solutions for contactless payment processing. I'm Beth McNeil, Senior Director, Sales and Engagement, and again, thank you for joining us this morning. Please let us know how we can help your business weather the current storm by reaching out through the Chamber's Business Resource Helpline at 513-579-3111, and make sure to sign up for our daily emails at cincinnatichamber.com. Today's member benefits session is spotlighting Infintech. And you've joined this briefing in listen-only mode with your microphones muted. Questions for our experts can be submitted in writing through Zoom's Q&A window. We'll cover as many questions as we can within our 30-minute time frame. And if you've joined us by phone or need to sign off a little bit earlier than that, you can view the full webinar posted at cincinnatichamber.com within the next 2 days, and this will also be posted on Facebook. The Cincinnati, USA Regional Chamber is proud to have Infintech as a long-time valuable partner for our members, and today I'm joined by Chad Stevens and Eric Fetty. Chad Stevens is Infintech's Vice President of Sales and Financial Institutions, and Chad has more than 20 years of experience in the payment processing industry, working for Infintech since 2017. Chad is responsible for Infintech's sales, revenue growth, distribution, and strategic partnerships with a primary focus on financial institution sales. Eric Fetty is Infintech's Director of Inside Sales. And Eric has more than 15 years of experience in the payment processing and banking industry. He has been working at Infintech since 2014. Now let me share you some impressive information about Infintech, and I'm sure you'll see why we're proud to have them as a partner. Infintech has been a valuable chamber partner since 2006. Actually, they were one of our very first benefit partners for our members. Infintech is a local payment processor that was started by Tom DeBoard and Ryan Rybolt right here in Cincinnati. They started in 2005 and successfully pursued partnerships with chambers of commerce along with other strategic partnerships here locally. Their mission is to provide versatile and innovative payment technology to their clients and partners, enabling them to be successful. Infintech has established processing relationships with more than 7,500 businesses across the U.S. and has nearly 150 partnerships. This portfolio of customers processes 30 million transactions, representing more than $4 billion in annual credit card processing volume. Infintech currently has more than 45 employees and representatives across the U.S., with the majority of those right here in Cincinnati, right here in our hometown. In 2015, Infintech was acquired by Nashville-based i3 Verticals, who is publicly traded on NASDAQ, expanding Infintech's national footprint and product offerings. i3 Verticals is a growing fintech comprised of multiple companies that share one goal: elevating the payment processing landscape and providing unique solutions for partners and their clients. Today, the Cincinnati, USA Regional Chamber has a total of 11 benefit partners who offer various ways for you to save money and enhance your business. Please make sure that you check out all partners at cincinnatichamber.com/save to maximize your membership. These are partnerships that are all accessible to you just by being a member of the chamber. Be sure to pay close attention for COVID-related offers that might be very relevant for your immediate needs right now. On a quick note, if you're interested in receiving a call today from Infintech and learning more about their services and offerings, simply type your contact information along with your company name in the chat and make sure that's going to the facilitators so we can connect you on a phone call today. I know everyone's ready to learn about the generous offer that Infintech has for us today for our members. So let's jump right into what people are here for. Strategies for payment processing. Good morning, Chad. Good morning, Eric.
Hey, Beth. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Beth.
Let's start with a question for you, Chad. The restaurant and retail and hospitality industries have been hit like nobody could have ever imagined. What are the shifts that you're seeing right now to help merchants?
Yeah, I think merchants are getting creative. We've seen them get real gritty over the last couple of weeks, whether they're setting up e-commerce sites to transact online and take those payments prior to the order being placed. So as the order is being placed, somebody is shopping online, picking their items, and at that point, those items are being placed, let's say, in a shopping cart, and the consumer at that point has two options. One is those goods are going to get delivered to their house, or two, they're simply going to drive to the location and pick them up. I think on the industry side, what we're starting to see, and our competitors are joining us in this, is making pricing concessions to minimize the monthly fees with some of those clients that are down and not being able to process at this point. And we're also seeing some pricing concessions on equipment to enable certain types of commerce.
It's great to know that the industry is working together and understanding that real-time solutions that we never would have thought of before. The way that we're purchasing and the way that we're interacting is completely changed overnight. I recently read an article in CNET that said cash transactions have dropped drastically due to health concerns. It seems logical, but can you share any insights on this?
Sure. If you think about just the health scare, if you will, with COVID-19 and folks touching coin and cash, and then you think about paper checks being written and sent into businesses and the number of hands that need to touch a transaction, what the industry is seeing and what we believe to be a result of this will be a huge push to contactless payments. And contactless payments are really two things for consumers. One, they'll have a credit or debit card in their wallet, and that has a signal. If you guys can look at the screen, you'll see the RFID signal on the front or the back of the card. This allows a consumer to walk up to a payment terminal that is NSE enabled and simply wave their card 3 to 5 inches, we'll call it, from that terminal. The other option is not a new technology. It's been around since 2011, but a digital wallet. So think about Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google, Android Pay. And for those of you Fitbit lovers, there's actually a Fitbit Pay. So you can upload your credit or debit card into that digital wallet. And you take that a step further, there's wearable technology now. So if you look at, this is not one, but if you look, go to your local jeweler or your local retailer, you'll find that there are wearable technologies that will connect to your cell phone that literally allows you to load your credit or debit card into your Ring, as an example, and walk up to a payment device and then simply wave your ring finger over a terminal within 3 to 5 inches, and it will automatically debit your credit or checking account, depending on what card you load. That is fascinating. And again, the technology is not new. It's been around since about 2011. But what we see coming out of this is a huge shift over to contactless payments. And then there's also touchless payments, which you've seen at your local hardware store, where you go online again and you're ordering items. You're paying for it on their e-commerce site, or maybe you're going to your local coffee shop and you're opening up an app, placing your order, and you're simply showing up. You're not having to deal with the actual transaction because the goods are already paid for, and you're simply just there to pick up the items.
That's remarkable to know. A lot of times people are nervous about losing their phone, but you're not going to lose a ring on your finger if you're intentional in not taking it off. Could you share a few more examples, Chad, of contactless payments?
It's interesting. I've been in this industry for 20 years, and I was around in 2011 when the digital wallet came on the scene, and At that point, we thought, man, the millennials are going to just take this thing and, cash is going to be disappear. Checks are going to be gone. Everything's going to be loaded in your iPhone. And that has happened to some extent. But, I just loaded the card due to COVID-19 in April. I loaded my debit card into my cell phone. And the process there, just for the folks on the phone, is you go to your Apple Wallet, your Samsung Wallet, your Google, Android, and you simply type in your card number, expiration date, CVV number. And then what that will do is take it over to the card issuer, and they will then validate with you. So that might take a day or two, just so you guys know. But they validate that you are who you say you are and that the device is safe and secure. So I did this about 2 weeks ago when I was at a local pharmacy. And you think about it, I was on the blue X and somebody behind me was 6 feet on the other blue X. And as I was walking up the store, I had done my first transaction and I waved my phone over the terminal. This woman came up to me and said, "Hey, sir, you are the third person today that I've seen pay with a smartphone. Can you just walk me through how you were able to load your card in your phone?" So I spent a couple minutes with her just talking about the steps of literally getting your credit or debit card loaded into her phone. And to me, that was amazing because here I am, having been in the industry for a long time and had just completed my first transaction. And we think, and that proved to me that contactless payments will be exploding here over the next 6 to 8 months.
Well, you've given me a little bit of homework. I am committing. I am going to do this today and make sure that I am contactless in my future transactions. So great example. I'm sure everyone that was standing in line when you helped that woman was curious, and you probably helped more people than you even realized. So that's a great example. Thanks. Remember to type in your questions for Eric and Chad in the chat section. They are anxious to answer whatever questions you may have today. Let's shift to Eric for a question. Eric, knowing that we have a variety of businesses on the line with us today on this webinar, do you have any success stories of how non-retail businesses are pivoting right now to be creative and relevant with credit card or financial transactions?
Yeah, and Beth, next time I see you, I'm going to hold you to it, that you have uploaded your card on your phone. But yeah, to answer your question on the non-retail side, a lot of businesses are, we're seeing a large increase in requests for accounts receivable and invoicing solutions. To be honest, their main concerns are they want to get paid more quickly. A lot of businesses are having cash flow issues. They're also not wanting to or are able to handle checks efficiently any longer with COVID going on. So these solutions can be handled with simple invoicing, adding a payment link to their website, or even a payment portal where this will allow a client to go in, easily click, and make a payment. So with the invoicing solution, they can email an invoice to a client. The client can click on, confirm the invoice. There's a payment link right there. They can just click. Easy as that. No check has to be mailed, sent, picked up. So for the business owner, this also minimizes, the trips that they'll be heading to the bank and handling those, paper checks, all while being next day funded for these credit card transactions. So most recently, we've had two large construction companies. One was 100 million in revenue that reached out, never accepted before. And, we did a demo for our invoicing solution, and they're ready to set that up. So it's been good.
Hey, Beth, if I can add to that, if
Sure.
you think about a real life example, here at Infintech, we are all in a remote situation for the time being. And it was interesting. I went into the office last week and I was talking to somebody in our finance department, and he said, "Hey, can you just go look in our mailbox?" And what was interesting is, if you guys can see my hands, there was a stack of invoices and mail because no one had been there in a few days, but probably that tall. And if you guys think about our clients, right, they're facing the same boat where they are not, they're all in a remote environment. And, I just started thinking about, well, here are some invoices that need to be paid. So for this to happen physically, I would have to take those invoices, drive them to someone on our finance team's house, drop them off, and that way, and that's only if, by the way, that if he or she had the checkbook at home to be able to make those payments. So this, when you start to think about electronic invoicing and accounts receivable solutions online, we have seen a huge uptick in requests for our bill and pay product. As that example is a real life example that our folks are living in day in and day out, at least at this point.
I think you make a great point, Chad. Most businesses, I would believe, are living with the same reality of what's in your lockbox, what's in the mailbox. When you do bring people into the office to physically, right now you have to bring folks back into the office to manage the paper process. For those that are taking you up on your services, it probably is a matter of just a couple of days, if not a couple of weeks, where they probably ask themselves, wow, why didn't we do this sooner, right? The processing seems so much smoother, so much easier, and a lot less labor intensive. So great example. Here's a question that I think should probably be top of mind, knowing that we're moving into the next phase of COVID. What are you seeing when talking to businesses about this responsible return to work that we're now in?
Yeah, it's interesting. You think about retailers and restaurants where the whole country is ready to get back to eating out and shopping at their local retailer. And there's going to be some changes. Social distancing is not going to go away, at least in the near future. And our role in this industry, and I think we're spending a lot of our calories educating folks on contactless and what touchless payment options are for clients, because truly it's going to be consumer-driven payment options that are going to drive our industry. So think about, going back to contactless payments with wearable technology or the accounts receivable solutions that are automated. We see a huge opportunity, not only for us, but for our industry. And one of our biggest challenges is we've got to go out and get the consumer population educated that they can actually just pay using a smart device or a wearable technology. And if you think about going to the grocery store today, guys, you're walking up to a terminal, and in some cases you're having to still touch a PIN pad to enter in your PIN number, or you go to the gas station and you're still having to deal with touching the pump. And for health reasons, that's a little scary to me. So it's really going to be a huge education opportunity for us in our industry.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Chad. It sounds like you're saying businesses are going to be moving toward a more client-centric approach because of the economic uncertainty and because of COVID-19. Customers are going to be wanting options for when they pay. They aren't going to want to be touching. They aren't going to be writing checks. They aren't going to be handling those types of things. So, for years, businesses have in the B2B space have been hesitant to, accept these electronic payments. But I think moving forward, they're going to want to provide their clients with options. Clients love options to be able to pay, and some may still pay by check. But, moving forward, I think they're going to want to have those options for electronic payments, whether it be credit card or ACH.
I think you make a great point, Eric. Everyone can appreciate options, whether you're being forced into them through COVID or you're making them on your own. Options are good. And I think being able to know that you are nimble, flexible, and being able to pivot quickly with the resources that Infintech has really should be peace of mind. So one final question for you, Chad, and we do have some questions that are coming in through the chat that we want to get to. If I'm a Cincinnati Chamber member, what is the unique offering from Infintech that I can't get anywhere else?
Right. So you guys know, and if you guys can see on the screen there, we have relief programs for small business here locally and really across the country for our accounts receivable solution, as well as a mobile solution that, you know, at the time that was really meant for the restaurant industry or the retail industry, for those folks that could stay open, basically giving them the ability to take a payment in a mobile environment and not have those clients come into their location. Take that a step further, Beth, and we're excited, obviously, about our partnership. We have been for years with the Cincinnati Regional Chamber. And so for all of you members out there, we are thrilled to death to be able to offer you guys a free contactless reader at no charge. If you're a member of the Cincinnati Regional Chamber between now and the rest of 2020, we will give you guys at no charge a contactless reader, which means we're enabling you to take those fun Bluetooth wearable technology payments or payments on consumer cell phones. So we're excited, Beth, and that's just the first step in what we're going to be doing for the rest of this year related to kind of how we come out of COVID-19.
That is outstanding. We're excited as well. 8 months left in the year, 7 months left in the year, and a free contactless reader at no charge. Is that correct, Chad?
That is correct. If you're confirming because you can't believe it, that is exactly what I said.
Terrific. I hope that members listening to this webinar take Infintech up on this offer. This is something free for members for the remainder of 2020. So whether you are full force in transactions right now or preparing for what it's going to be over the next couple of months, please, please take Infintech up on this offer. You can type in your contact information, you can reach us at the Chamber, and we're more than happy to connect you. Call us at 513-579-3111 or reach us at cincinnatichamber.com/membership. So let's shift real quick and take some questions that have come in the chat box. We have one here that asks, has there been significant increase in companies now willing to accept payment by card?
We've certainly had requests here locally from the merchants who were able to stay open that realized quickly that they had a situation where they had a customer showing up to pick up something and they had an employee, you know, think about it, grabbing the card from the consumer, running it into the restaurant to run it on a terminal, to come back to have a pen in their hand, to have a receipt signed. And we realized pretty quickly that, you know, the contactless payment was an easy solution. And so, yes, we've seen requests over the last 3 to 4 weeks as a result.
Terrific. And hopefully that's going to be on the uptick and we see more activity coming in. Let's take one final question that's coming in. By using the mobile wallet, do you think people are more or less susceptible to identity theft?
So if you think about the mobile wallet, it does use a similar technology that is in the EMV chip. It is not 100% bulletproof, but it is absolutely a more secure payment method than, let's say, just swiping your card at the gas pump, right, or at the local grocery store. It is safer than that, and there are two things you can do to really make sure that the transaction is secure. One is go out and get a wallet that blocks the RFID signal. If you have one of those cards that has the signal on it, there are RFID blocking wallets out there. The other thing you can do is buy a RFID blocking credit card. So if you guys have a wallet out there, you can see, let's just say this is one, you can insert a card into your wallet and it will block and shut down any RFID signals that are being transmitted. It is absolutely, and according to MasterCard and Visa and the Electronic Transactions Association, it is absolutely more secure than just swiping a credit card as we normally do today.
Terrific. So we have learned about wearable technology. We have learned about wallets today. We have learned about options for credit card processing, contactless processing. I'd like to thank Chad and Eric for taking time to share this great information today. Your expertise has definitely been appreciated, and hopefully our members, partners, and everyone attending will reach out to set up time to talk to you. I'd like to give a special thank you and shout out to Spencer Mapes and Lindsay Bujnak for being the experts behind the scenes to make today's webinar possible. And please join me every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. for a brief 30-minute discussion. We're rotating in various benefit partners who have offerings for you as members that we're really hoping you can take advantage of to maximize your membership and help your business out, especially now during this interesting time. We also have additional briefings this week for you. So Thursday at 9:30 in the morning, we are going to be hosting Navigating Ambiguity, Tools for Leading During Times of Uncertainty. And this is going to be in partnership with Xavier Leadership Center. So please go to cincinnatichamber.com to register. And if you're interested in maximizing your membership benefits or just learning about becoming a chamber member, please reach out to our membership team at either 513-579-3111 or go to cincinnatichamber.com/membership. And we'd like to thank our members, sponsors, and investors who make the work here at the Chamber possible. And for each of you, thank you for being with us today. Stay safe, stay connected, and stay encouraged.